Hey, I'm Justin from Alchitry, and in one of our previous videos we routed a delay matched bus on the Alchitry FT in both KiCad 10 and Altium Designer. There's a link in the description if you haven't seen that yet. The new release of KiCad 10 added the ability to tune the lengths of the traces in the time domain, so in that video we matched the delays instead of just the lengths of the traces. However, KiCad 10 requires you to provide estimates of the propagation speeds of your signal on every layer, while Altium Designer uses a built-in simulator to figure it out for you. That made me wonder just how accurate the KiCad design would be if we checked it using Altium's full simulation. So in this video, we're going to import the KiCad design into Altium to see how it stacks up. All right, let's import it. Oh. Ah! All right, well that escalated quickly. I was originally thinking this would be a quick video where I just imported the KiCad board into Altium, looked at the delays, and made a simple comparison. However, I immediately ran into problems as Altium currently only officially supports importing board files from KiCad 8, but the board was designed in KiCad 10. After managing to fudge the imported board enough to make it work well enough for the purposes of this video, I ran into a bug where the trace delays weren't being updated. After messing around for about half a day, I discovered a workaround and learned a lot more about how these delays are actually being calculated. I also discovered a couple minor mistakes in the original KiCad setup. Luckily, I caught these before that video was released, so I'll add a section explaining the mistake in that video. In this video, we'll compare the delays that KiCad reports with the mistakes adjusted to the delays that Altium reports, rather than looking at how the traces match each other. Without further delay, let's jump into it and give you all the details. So as I said, the import process for a KiCad 10 file barely worked, as only up to version 8 is officially supported. The most notable issue is that the schematic is blank. It just didn't import at all. However, luckily for this video, the PCB mostly worked after I manually assigned all the layers. I also had to fix the stack up and manually assign nets to the traces and the pads that we care about since the schematic was missing. I also removed the top connector and the traces for simplicity in this comparison. With all that fixed, we could then open the PCB panel and see all the calculated delays for the traces. For the sake of this video, I also wanted to demonstrate how these values changed when the stack up changed. I can change the stack up by going to Design, Layer Stack Manager, and here's the stack up. If I set the dielectric constant for the core to say something like 100, this should affect the signals a lot that are on layer 3, but not the signals that are on the top layer. If I save this and head back to the PCB, we should see that delays update to, oh, wait, nope, they didn't update. This is the bug that I ran into. I ended up contacting Altium support about it, and they told me that they're aware of it and are working on a fix. However, here's the workaround that I found in the meantime. I first have to go and close the PCB document, and then reopen it. Then if we go back to the PCB panel and look at our nets, then all of the traces, oh, nope, they still haven't updated. We then have to go to Design, Net List, Clean All Nets. And this will tweak all the nets a little bit, cleaning up the paths, which just invalidates the cached values enough to, boom, make an update finally. So here are the new values with the updated stack. We can see that the nets that travel on the third layer, so the ones that are greenish in here, are much slower. Now they're somewhere around 600 picoseconds than the ones that are on the top layer, which didn't really change, which are 195-ish. Let me switch things back to the correct stack up and we can look at how things differ from KiCad. All right, there we go. Now they're back to the original stack up. All right, this is actually the third time I'm recording this video. As I went down the rabbit hole, I realized that the bottom layer has some short signals on it that I hadn't taken into account in KiCad. When I fixed that in the original video, it made me realize that those signals are kind of special in that they have a ground plane surrounding them, and the next ground plane is kind of far away on layer 2. In the original video, I used KiCad's calculator tool to calculate the delay of a coplanar signal with the ground plane. However, that made me ask, what is Altium doing in this case? It turns out, for the sake of delay calculations, as far as I can tell, Altium assumes that they're strip lines with adjacent layers as references. There isn't a way to tell whether the nearest reference should actually skip a layer or that it's a coplanar signal. For this design, that doesn't really matter a whole lot since the traces on the bottom are really short, but this could be important depending on your board. I'm in contact with Altium about this, and if I find any more details about how these delays are actually calculated, I'll pin a comment down below. Okay, now back to the regularly scheduled content. Here's a slightly modified version of the board in KiCad where I moved the top connector and the traces for simplicity, so we don't have that split like we did before. In the net inspector down here, we can see the delays for all the traces. Let me move that to the side just by quickly dragging this panel. There we go. I love that in KiCad you can drag these panels around however you want. Altium is much more limited in how you arrange the panels. Let me just pull these side by side so we can take a look at both. Okay, with them side by side, we can see that they agree pretty well, mostly within 10 picoseconds of each other, which is pretty impressive. Unfortunately, the names in the nets were lost in Altium when I imported it, but we can take a look at D0, which happens to be N1. Here in KiCad, it's 195.26 picoseconds, and in Altium, it's 195.072 picoseconds. That's super close with just a fifth of a picosecond difference. The major differences seem to come from the vias. Right now in KiCad, you can specify the delay for every via transition if you know them. But if you're just entering a reasonable default for the global delay, it doesn't seem to agree with the speeds that Altium is calculating. For example, the WR signal says it's about 209 picoseconds in KiCad, but the same signal, which is N12 in Altium, says it's about 190 picoseconds. This signal has 3 vias, and given how close the other signals are, it seems that the difference is mostly coming from the via calculations. If we go back to Altium in the Layer Stack Manager, we can go to the Impedance tab to see how close these propagation delays actually are. Altium does a 2D simulation of the board to find the propagation speeds. When I heard this, I incorrectly assumed that it was doing a simulation of my actual board, but it instead is just doing a simulation of the stack-up. This isn't that different from what KiCad is doing. The simulator here is just a bit more robust than the simple equations that KiCad is using. I can open up the values that KiCad calculated and see how close they are. We can see that they're fairly close. The interlayer calculation is really close, with only about 1 picosecond per centimeter of difference, with a 71.4 here and a 70.16 here. The outer layers are a bit off, and I think it comes mostly from Altium accounting for the solder mask. If you set the dielectric constant to 1, the delay matches much closer to KiCad. So here I can change this to 1. Here you can say the delay is 5.7 nanoseconds per meter, which is the same as roughly 57 picoseconds per centimeter. And here we're at 55.8, which is very close. The bottom layer, on the other hand, is very different. While I can use the impedance calculator in Altium to calculate a delay of the coplanar strip on the bottom layer, I don't think there's actually any way to have it use this information to calculate delays that it's showing in the PCB. Again, for this board, those traces are negligibly short, but that might not always be the case, and if I find out any way to do this, I'll pin it in the comments down below. So it turns out that Altium and KiCad are basically doing the same thing when it comes to tuning traces in the time domain. The only major difference is that KiCad requires you to provide the propagation speeds, which you can get using its built-in calculator, while Altium will do all the calculations for you. Altium's calculations are also likely marginally more accurate, but it really is very marginal in most cases. So for now, KiCad's weakest point seems to be its via calculations, but given that this feature just released with KiCad 10, I'd expect it to improve soon in future releases. I hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel. And as always, thanks for watching.